Hi, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us. My name is Dave Yost. I'm the president of the Managed Service Provider Association of America. Today, we have the pleasure of speaking with Avery George from Netirio. Avery, thanks for joining us. Welcome today.
Thanks for having me.
So, Avery, you are the founder of Netirio. What is Netirio?
So we're an MSP in Denver, and I started the company about 5 years ago, and we were I was working basically full time as an IT help desk support person, and my father owns an MSP, so I've kind of always had an entrepreneurial spirit, and so I started Netirio, and yeah, now we're 5 years in.
Oh, great. That's a fantastic story. How has it been going over this last 5 years?
Good. So the first year we were dealing with the pandemic, but after that, it slowly kind of progressed, and yeah, growth has been great the last 4 years, I would say.
Yeah, I think a lot of MSPs that we speak to, they relate the pandemic to a lot of growth as well, because companies, I'm sure you know this, companies were just kind of trying to figure out how they can get technology in place to support their operations, right? And everyone is scrambling. I'm sure you were exposed to that as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of companies were not really working from home or working remotely at that time, and especially small businesses where they didn't really have technology advisors that they could come to.
Sure.
So yeah, we were able to certainly provide value to a lot of clients during that time.
Yeah, well, it's absolutely a value-added service that a lot of companies need. So Netirio and yourself are based in Denver, which is actually down the road from the association. Actually, we're based out in Colorado, also in Denver as well. You are a new member of the association, and so we're slowly getting to know you to understand what you do, how you do things. So, which is why we're really excited to have this conversation with you. So Netirio, we understand you started a couple of years ago. Excuse me. I know that a lot of MSPs that come into the space are similar to your story. They were working full time, probably got burnt out. I'm sure you can relate to that as well. Moved into the MSP space. You developed Netirio with obviously an object in mind. On your website, you say that you focus on people. Tell us a bit more about what you mean there.
Yeah, absolutely. So as a former tech support person, I noticed that there was a lack of the people centric customer service relation a when a ticket would come into a help desk, for instance. There would be a lack of that personal touch, and I started to notice it in other spaces too within IT. And so my goal when I started the company was to provide customer centric customer support with IT help desk as kind of the selling point. So
Okay.
our techs are trained to have conversations with these people that they're helping and be personable with them first, and then help their IT needs out second. So we really have a strong emphasis on making connections with our clients, and making sure that they feel comfortable when they call into our help desk, and not apprehensive to reach out when they're having issues.
I'm hearing you say a lot of customer focus. To me, it sounds like that you really try to understand your client's business model and to understand all the final ins and outs of what they do to better serve them. Is that more accurate?
Yeah, absolutely. We certainly try and provide value from the start.
All right, well, that's fantastic. And tell me, so you're based in Denver. Do you operate throughout the United States?
Yes, so we are based out of Denver, and we do have clients currently that have headquarters in Denver and have other sub branches throughout the United States, and then also we do work with a couple of companies that are not based in Denver.
Sure. And your techs obviously can service clients throughout the United States, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. So we can work with them remotely as well as on site if need be.
Okay, that's a good thing to know. A lot of MSPs, they obviously have different tiered support levels, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Do you operate your business in the same type of model, or all your techs available to all of your clients?
So all of our techs are available to all of our clients. If it does end up needing, if there is an issue that needs to be addressed by a higher level staff member, generally that would be available. However, most of the staff are knowledgeable on all the products that we service. So.
Okay, great. Let's talk about the products. You mentioned that a few minutes ago. In the United States, there's what, just over 42,000 MSPs across, some small, some large, right? All MSPs have a range of products, a range of services that they offer. A lot of MSPs have particular focus in some areas. So for some, they focus on cyber. So some, they focus on network. Do you have a particular speciality that you focus in?
Yeah, so we try and be security focused, security first, and our software suite that we or set stack, I should say, that we put together
Oh,
emphasizes that. So we make sure that, and we only have one level of managed services. So we
okay.
offer a comprehensive package, but that includes things like cybersecurity awareness training for individuals and phishing campaigns, as well as full remote desktop management and patching. The more standard MSP packaging stuff, right?
Okay.
But yeah, we really try and focus on making sure that our client security posture is number one, and then obviously making sure that we can provide that customer experience that we try and hold ourselves as a standard to.
It's funny you mentioned the cybersecurity part. Cybersecurity is a big topic in the business world, and it has been for the last few years, right? AI is coming up on that as well at the moment. But I was actually reading an article this morning, actually, about a major medical chain that just paid over $22 million in ransomware. Now, I would hate to be in the shoes of whoever's responsible for that, but in your world and your cybersecurity activities and services that you offer clients, do you notice an increase in threats or attacks in particular industries, or is it just general across the board?
So I would say it might not be necessarily based on industry, but certainly job title. So
Okay.
the VIPs, as we kind of list them, are like the CEO, CXO level, the director level. They tend to get more attention, specifically the CEO and CFOs of companies. So you'll see a lot of companies that you know take extra measures to safeguard that C level, just because there are a lot of spoofing attempts that are going on. And by spoofing, I mean a foreign actor trying to portray themselves as the CEO of the company via email to either other employees of the company or outside clients that company works
Sure.
with, and it can be really dangerous.
Yeah, and I think for everyone who's viewing, there's a lot of terms going around that. One of the most common terms that we in the tech world know, that's called whaling, right? Try a spearfish, or spearfishing is another term. Spearfish that CEO executive. Happens all the time. I get them as well. So I'm
Of
sure
course.
you get them as well. Yeah. I don't know about you, but there's a lot of protections involved that companies can deploy. Thanks for that bit of information. All right, so tell me a bit more about you. So you were working obviously a full-time job. You obviously moved over to the MSP space. Do you remember the defining moment that made the decision to move over to an MSP?
Yeah, so I don't I'm not sure that there was one specific moment. However, there were a lot of small things that kind of made, I would say, mended me into wanting to take the leap.
Sure.
So when I was growing up, like I said, my father was in tech. So I've been in
Sure.
tech essentially since I could walk and talk, right? And so at that point, I started at college, undecided, and then went into IT consulting as a focus, and was
Okay.
able to essentially, essentially
As a cat.
work my way, work my way from through the professional ladder. I had a corporate job, going straight out of college, and then from there was able to really hone my craft, focus on getting some sales under my belt at a job, and then worked on a startup as an engineer a little bit. So had some really good experience, and spoke with a group of people that I hold in high regard, that have also
Sure.
started companies and stuff of that nature, and they're the same piece of information pretty much came from each of them. There's no great time to take a leap like that and starting an MSP or starting a company in general. And so for me, it was it certainly was a leap, but I would consider it a calculated leap, as I was able to really lean on some of these folks that have started companies in the past, and focus on the sales part of it, and making it profitable essentially. And here we are 5 years later. We're set to have another record year, and we've grown 4 years in a row now. So it's really
Congrats.
it's an amazing time in the space.
Well, congrats to you. I mean, that's magnificent. And I think I've said it earlier on, but your story resonates with a lot of MSPs. It resonates with a lot of, we see a lot of people that are going the way that you started, and starting the MSP world. So I think your story resonates with them a lot. And we're approaching our time limit here in a few minutes. But before we do go into close, if there's one thing that you could say to any small business that is watching this and is looking for an MSP, what would that message be?
Yeah, I would say that if you're looking for some type of IT support, we on our website we have a list of questions that you should ask, and a couple of items that you should note going into meetings. Highly recommend checking out our blog for that, and just making sure that you're asking the correct questions, and you're trying to understand what value that you need to be provided, and what items need to be tailored to your business in order to make sure that your technology is aligning with your business goals at the end of the day, and not the other way around.
Sure. And for anyone's watching, the website is down below. Feel free to go there, have a look. And if you are in the market for MSP services, or just looking for any really good tech support, please contact Avery from Netirio. I'm sure they can help you. Avery, thank you so much for your time today. It was a pleasure speaking to you, and I wish you all the best in the coming years.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Thanks. You have a great day. Bye-bye.